I'm Lorri Jean, and professionally, I'm the CEO of the LA Gay and Lesbian Center. And I've been an activist in our community since I came out in 1979, and ultimately there came a time when I decided I like being a lawyer, but not nearly as much as I like my activism, and so I decided I wanted to become a professional homosexual, and lucked out and landed here at the center, and I've now been at the helm here for more than 14 years. The history of the LA Center is really interesting. We just got some papers from the estate of one of the founding women board members. And even in 40 years, we had lost a lot of our history. And what happened is our founders began realizing in the pretty immediate aftermath of Stonewall that our community needed help. And they needed to do organizing and come together and build our political power, but they also knew that we were living in a society that was very oppressive and that people in our community suffered a great deal. A lot of these folks were social workers. And so they started providing counseling on the phone, and they opened up a coffee house where people could gather, and they let homeless youth and adults sleep on the floor. And before long, they were renting houses all over town to provide housing for homeless people, and then formed this center. And right out of the gate, we're not only intensely political, and not just about LGBT stuff, but about other progressive things like welfare rights and fighting the draft, and things that not all LGBT organizations have that kind of perspective. Part of our challenge as a movement, certainly as a center, is to figure out how do you serve all of these disparate needs and still build community, because community is critical if we're going to be able to achieve the place in our society that we deserve, where we have full equality, and not just full equality under the law, but full acceptance and celebration. There was a time in my life in my younger days when I might have been happy just to be left alone or tolerated and not mistreated. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like what we deserve as a people is full acceptance in our society. I want parents of the future to be just as thrilled when their kid falls in love with someone of the same gender as they are when their kid falls in love with someone of the opposite gender, or when their child is saying, I'm a girl, no matter what their body looks like. They're figuring out, oh, hey, that's cool. Let's figure out how to make life totally wonderful for my kid. I can tell a story about a young transgender girl. Grew up as a boy, still a kid, but knows that she is a girl who comes to us for help. And I can tell the story about what they experience to an 80-year-old gay man who isn't quite sure that he gets why transgender people are part of our movement. Because gender identity is different than sexual orientation. And as some of our donors have said to me over the years, that makes us look extreme. So now I tell stories about the folks who come to us who need our help. And the story of that transgender girl whose family has kicked her out because they cannot stand that their son is not behaving as they think their child should. And what this girl goes through on the streets, and how she ultimately finds her way to us, and how we're able to help her, and what she starts to do with her life, that clicks in a different way. And people who might never have gotten it, even if they still don't get it, they get the human condition. They get oppression. They get that almost exactly parallels what many gay and lesbian youth go through, and bisexual youth. And so it moves them. I don't want the key message that goes to young people to be, just wait. It will ultimately get better. The message I want them to hear is, it can be good right now. And you have a right for it to be good right now. And there are a lot of places that you can go to that can help you figure out how to make it good right now. You shouldn't have to wait. And I would say to anybody out there who feels like, because of their sexual orientation or their gender identity, that they are suffering and they feel bad and they don't want to feel bad, to reach out. And if they can't find a place in their hometown, call the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, and we'll help to find them a place where they can get the help that they need.